I didn't want to leave the hotel. I was scared too.
Meanwhile, you think it smelled like straight horse booty. Mr. Baldhead.
Hola.
What are we getting into today?
We're about to react to Omeezy again.
Omeezy.
Oh, Mizzle.
But what's the context? Yay! Hell yeah. In what context, man? Are you familiar with I'm Not Kenneth and the whole Cortez or Kathlina drama?
Well, I don't follow them, so this is gonna be like a non-biased take. This is gonna be like a, cause you know I ain't young anymore.
We young. We one of them new gen. We ain't the new blood.
Yeah, we ain't the new blood, so we don't know what goes on.
We don't know what be going on.
But this been going through my feed for a minute.
And I just wanted to kind of figure out what the hell's been going on. So
You what?
Just to catch everyone up to speed, apparently last week,
Story time.
A streaming couple between the name that goes by the names of I'm Not Kenneth and Cortez with a V, I think, or Catalina, whatever. Apparently, she was on Streamer University.
Yep.
And
That I know about.
yeah, and some random video just showed up on my YouTube timeline. Do you call it a timeline? My YouTube feed, my homepage, specifically saying that, you know, I Am Not Kenneth said my girlfriend cheated on me with her cousin.
This is a sick Negro.
You what?
Cool. You know, like that's
What?
so I'm
This
like,
is a sick Negro.
it may, you know, maybe it's a clickbaity title, you know. So I decided to click on it and I watched the video and I'm just like, and as this guy's going through
The receipts.
First of all, my guy, do you know how he found out his girlfriend was cheating, bro?
How did you find out?
This is a crazy. Imagine going back 10 years and saying, "Hey Jeff, my girlfriend was cheating with her cousin."
Yeah, you said you dome me right there, cause
But my question to you would be, 10 years, me from the past, would be, how the f did you find out? Did you walk in on them? Did you, did you accidentally get a message? What happened? And you say no. It was with my cat's litter box.
what? The hell no! I would say
what do
you're crazy,
mean?
bro.
What?
That's not a thing.
Bro, so
Get out of here.
we in the year, the big 2-6. You know we in the future.
Mid. We're already in June.
Big 2-6. Yeah, mid big 2-6. You know what I'm saying? So anything is possible in this world of technology. So apparently this cat litter box had a AI cam. The same way how your Blink system, you know, it's
Or your
motion
doorbell.
activated, or your doorbell.
Yeah, your ring.
So this cat litter box has a freaking AI cam.
Yep.
And I'm not going to assume maybe he got a notification. Maybe he was just being nosy. But in his story time, he said he would periodically hear her mumbling or talking to somebody in the bathroom.
Apparently, she locked the bathroom door, which
bathroom
she never
door.
does because they live together.
Right, because they live together. So he heard some mumblings and grumblings and blah, blah, blah. So he decides, hey.
And of course, the cat AI litter box is in the bathroom.
It's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, what's going on? So he goes on his little camera AI cat litter box. And to his surprise, to his shock, to his disbelief, he sees his girl spreading cheeks.
You what?
Spreading whole starfish.
Shame.
On FaceTime with none other than who? Her cousin.
This is a sick Negro. This is a sick Negro.
What the?
Spooky action.
That's crazy work.
And this man said his heart sunk. And I know what he means. But not in the whole cousins.
Yeah.
But I know what he means. When you get hurt so bad, you get that knot in your stomach and it make you feel sick. And bro said he was puking.
Bro, I would rather have cheated on me with another guy.
Bro, any regular cheating would have been fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we were still broken up.
Right.
But now it's like the image of, damn. How long this been going on?
So, bro, right, you feel me? So, like,
all this
So he knocks on the door. He acts nonchalant. You know what I'm saying? You know, he acts nonchalant. He's like, yo, can I see your phone real quick? Hands it to him. He snatches it, runs away, locks his door. And, you know, when you go looking for some shit you don't want to find, you're going to find what you don't want to find.
Well, we going to...
So he found hella dick and balls.
Text messages.
Hella clam photos, text messages.
A list of what they want.
And the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. The galactic cherry on top. There was a shared bucket list.
You what?
Okay, you're thinking, okay, it's a bucket list. I want to hang out with my cousin. Let's go have fun, blah, blah, blah. No! No! What did I always say in every single past freaking video we've done? These goon-brain, depraved, sick, porn brain, everything is my holes.
It's all about holes.
Stick in the hole.
It's all about holes.
Stick in the hole. Nothing outside of a personality of stick in the hole.
Yep.
He finds a bucket list of all the most degenerate, debaucherous, hedonistic, salacious, fallacious.
Bro, I think Bonnie Blue is spreading her evil.
Nah, bro. I told you, Lilith has arrived and it's permeating throughout everything.
Yep. Lilith is like...
Lilith is here, the queen succubus. It's here.
Yep.
The spirit of Jezebel lives on. You know what I'm saying? And it was all the most nastiest shit she wanted to do specifically with her cousin.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, bro.
Right. So, without further ado, let's hop into this. Because apparently, yesterday, or within the wee hours of the AM, within the trenches of midnight, she released an apology video. And I've seen clips of this apology video floating around, but I've never got the full take of it.
Okay.
So, with the help of our man Omeezy, we're going to react and, of course, give our own commentary and give our own opinions.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, let's get into it, sir.
Without further ado.
Yay! All right, sir. So, boom, his title is She Cheated, Then Tried to Ruin Her Ex's Life. Leguan. So this is the apology video, guys.
Yep.
Hello everyone, I am here to say my truth and share my story on the...
Let me stop you there.
Say my truth!
She said my.
No,
My
hold on.
truth.
Hold on. Truth?
My truth. That's spooky work.
Sorry, guys, there's no such thing.
And you know, I'm an advocate of living in truth.
Yes.
I'm an advocate of non-LARPing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are the non-LARPer Colorado. Is.
You just said a whole bunch of shit that didn't...
You what?
No, you didn't even say a word, nigga.
I didn't say nothing.
You didn't say nothing.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that immediate red flag, what, 0.5 seconds? She said my truth.
things that have been released on the internet and the things that have happened to me. First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did. I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. Me and my ex were involved in a toxic and abusive relationship. When I was in love with him, I was blind to the harmful behavior and abuse that was going on.
Catalina, there's no way out of this one. I'm sorry, but you're done. You're finished.
The next thing I'm about to say are serious allegations that I know men often get falsely accused of, but at the end of the day, all I can do is come on here, tell my truth, tell my story, whether you want to believe it or not. There was a time where me and my ex were drinking, and he forced himself onto me.
Ooh. So you see,
that's a serious claim.
That's a serious allegation, but
that's a serious claim.
You know how you see how she started it off with, there's a lot of times where men get falsely accused for something.
Yeah, you prefaced it.
You prefaced it before you say false.
It's like do as I say, not as I do.
So you're like falsely accused, but then you're about to do what you say.
Well, let's see.
Okay,
let's see, because We're only a minute and 2 seconds in.
I feel like she's telling on herself when she says
Wait, but let's see the evidence first before we jump to conclusions.
And it hurt, and I cried, and I begged him to stop, but he never did. At the time of my essay, he was very rough on me, which resulted in me getting a cut on my insides. Luckily, I was able to take video footage of the blood on the scene and a graphic photo of the damage that resulted.
Boy, I feel like we should not be in this group chat at all. But while I am here, I'm going to get to the bottom of it, man. Just a few days ago, streamer K Verts was brutally, and I do mean brutally, exposed for cheating on her boyfriend Kenneth with her cousin. Now, if you thought that situation was messy and it ended there, K Vertes came to the internet and decided to respond to her ex Kenneth, making wild, and I do mean wild, allegations about him physically assaulting her, putting hands on her, and essaying/graping her. And just as I was gearing up to make a response video about that entire thing, Kenneth came back to the internet at 5 a.m. You can see the back.
Damn! He said 5 a.m. Kenneth was on watch time, bro. Kenneth was on.
So he stayed up.
He was waiting.
Yeah, he was waiting.
He was waiting.
In my eyes to respond and blasted her out the water, claiming that she was a fraud. And now, as the community's leader in unemployed news, I am here to break it down with you all because this is messy, this is disgusting, and it's proving why all of this should have never gotten to the internet in the first place. If you knew this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. K-Verse starts this monologue off by taking accountability for all of her actions. And by accountability, I do mean this new age Gen Z version of what accountability is.
I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation.
Yeah. What is she apologizing for?
She didn't say anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is she apologizing?
Which was my ex.
She's apologizing, but she's not telling us what she's apologizing.
Immediately off rip, because what was it? We were already a minute into her apology.
Yeah.
And she said, for the things that are, what did you do?
What did you do?
Right. So if you know you're wrong, what did you do?
Yeah.
Me and my ex were involved in a toxic and abusive relationship. He even forced himself on me at one point. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you.
She doesn't go into any real detail. She just provides a word salad around the word accountability.
Spooky shit.
In total, she leaves it very vague and ambiguous. And even in her further telling of what she didn't do in the relationship with her cousin and with Kenneth, she leaves out the things that she did do.
First, I want to address the note that was released online. I did not have any involvement in creating it or writing it in any way. It was only shared to me. And I also want to make this very clear. I did not have any sexual intercourse with anybody outside of my relationship.
That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap.
No, we need the soundbite called "You're a liar."
You're a liar. No, that's cap. That's actually cap. I do not believe that. You telling me I catch you spreading the whole ass?
I'm pretty sure way before you met him.
Come on, bro. Like, let's be for real.
Nah, bro.
Let's be for real. Let's take the cousin out of the equation at that point, right? Let's take the cousin outside the equation. Let's say your girlfriend, you catch your girlfriend doing a cam show for some random motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Unless they're on OF.
Whatever. I don't give a shit where you're at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's not me you're doing it for. Mm-hmm. So you're cheating. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know? But you're telling me this entire time, and you make contact with this person. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine your girlfriend has a job. She has a coworker. They're contacts. Mm-hmm. They go to business meetings, business trips, da-da-da. And then one day you catch her spreading cheeks on cam for this dude. Mm-hmm. And then you find pictures of this dude's dick and balls on her phone. Mm-hmm. They didn't have sex?
Yeah, they did, because that wasn't the first time.
Come on, like, let's be for real.
Because nobody just look, when you're doing low down dirty shit, it doesn't just start off, oh my God, we're automatically gonna be like showing dick and balls.
It's all sexual attraction.
Yeah,
I don't just meet a random woman, send her dick pics.
Exactly.
Like what he did. Like,
niggas do that all the time. But in general. Okay, so no, I understand what you're saying, because it had to gradually get to that point.
There's steps.
And I guarantee you, it's like It's like, oh, when they're like, oh yeah, me and this person did this shit in the bathroom. That's not all you did. That's all you're telling me you did.
Right. Thank you. You're only telling me the things that you know that I know.
Exactly. And you're only telling me this because you got caught.
Right. It's not the whole truth. It's my truth.
There was a rumor going around that I was cheating my entire relationship, and I've been doing this for months, which is completely false because this is only a recent incident that had occurred. I'm not going to make anything
it's only recent because you got caught. That's the difference.
Weird. The timeline is so skewed.
Look, that's the only issue. You got caught. That's the only reason why you're saying
that's
it's
why
recent.
It's recent.
Yes.
That's reason. That was the only time you got caught.
Yes.
But you can't just.
So that's why you're caught. Yeah. So you're just yeah. Let me go to family functions and I just want to have sex with my cousin for no reason.
Dog.
We didn't build up to this. It just recently happened. That's not how that works.
Man, out of here.
My truth.
Bruh.
Doesn't sound any better, but I think it's important that I share my truth because of the insane amount of lies that have been.
And she has to keep prefacing it with my truth. Because if she said the truth, it's over.
Yeah, because
you're cooked.
Yeah,
you're cooked.
Spread about me on the internet.
She claims that there was no sort of schmexual interactions outside of her relationship. And she claimed that this wasn't something that happened months ago. She claims that it was a recent incident. She claimed a lot of stuff that this wasn't, but she never explicitly said exactly what it was. Okay, granted, we got this off the table. You did not have any sort of penetrative interactions with your family member. I think that that's totally fine and dandy. But what exactly did happen? What are you apologizing for? What went on between you and your cousin from your specific POV?
I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not.
What are the things? These are just vague, surface level, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry for the things that I did.
ChatGPT wrote it for her, bro.
That's spooky. This gotta be
ChatGPT wrote it for her, bro.
This gotta be GPT, dog.
Bro, look how her eyes keep shifting in the corner.
Yeah,
too.
you see, you caught that.
Because look, we've talked about this before in other conversations where I always say this. When we're having a thought, like if you watch any of our videos, our eyes always go up because we're thinking about what we're saying, or I'm shifting to you, or I'm shifting up, or when I'm thinking about something, I'm saying it because it's coming off the top of my dome. But when your eyes are like this, all right, next line, then you're literally reading off a prompt. You're reading off a prompt, and I've seen some of her videos. She does not articulate like that. She doesn't talk like this.
She don't speak.
She doesn't articulate her sentences like this.
She from Florida.
Get the fuck out of here, bro!
She from Florida. Lowest literacy rate in the fucking country.
I was when I was young.
Florida, nigga. What the fuck? No child left behind, bro. What the fuck? Should have left all of them behind. What the hell? Should have left all them niggas behind.
Oh man.
30-year-old fourth grader. What the fuck?
That's crazy work. just like Adam Sandler's in that movie.
Holy shit. Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. Yeah, that's how old we are. That's an old ass movie.
Oh man, nah, that's real. Oh my goodness, I'm like, this vocabulary don't even sound
yeah.
Bullshit.
Nah, she ChatGPT this shit, bro.
You just what the fuck? That's
GPT
crazy. They probably had to break the words down so she could pronounce it by syllable. What?
All right, you need to practice this before you. She had to Google the name of the words.
I promise you she did. It took her 5 days to rehearse this. I'm tripping.
Not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did.
What did you do?
But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem.
She denies pieces of the incident, but never tells the entire interaction.
Give me a second. So what you're saying is, because my relationship wasn't picture perfect, I had schmex with
that's crazy.
I had sex with my cousin.
It was toxic. What was it? The angel.
The logic.
He's abusive, and he's abusive, and he assaulted me. The angel. All right. Find refuge. Call the police. Start a case.
Yep.
Da. The devil on her shoulder. Go fuck your cousin.
You what?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Where's the logic, dog? What the fuck?
Bro, you got me crying. Stop.
What the fuck?
Hold on.
I'm dead. That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
When in doubt, become a glazed donut with your cousin. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Man.
That's crazy.
Woo!
That's crazy. That is actually
That's
crazy.
crazy work, bro. Yeah. My boyfriend is a piece of shit, so let me go.
Let me go f my cousin. Insect, yeah. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, if we were to tier this, right?
I'm trying to put my glasses back on. Okay, go ahead.
I've never seen the solution to your problem. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. I feel like it falls in that realm of like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you know, PDF.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, that's spooky. That's spooky.
There's
shit.
levels.
There's levels to that.
Tier
shit.
1 PDF, Tier 2 your cousin, Tier 3
bestiality, dog. Yeah, that's true. Tier 1, that's like death.
Yeah.
Tier 2, I don't know. You got to be in a loony house, bro. Tier 2, we got to permanently keep you in a loony house.
You know me, you can't my sister because I want her.
My sister. If anyone's gonna fuck my cousin, it's gonna be me. Jonah Hill.
What movie was that? Oh man, we'll have to preface the movie. Like when we re-edit it.
No, man, no, that shit's hilarious. If anyone's gonna fuck my cousin, it's gonna be me. What the fuck? That's spooky. That is spooky, dog.
You what?
That's spooky shit.
Now let's go.
In story.
I do believe that bringing all of this to the internet and the way my ex did was completely wrong and invasive. It felt like a.
What did he bring up?
Hasn't once owned up to what she did. Yeah. Exactly. What are you talking about?
Imagine you were. Remember the Sneeko logic? No context or history.
Nope.
That's how they all do it. Boom! All right, I just threw you in 2026. This woman's apologizing. Do you accept it? That's what I'm saying. Imagine I show you this video. This woman claims she hurt your feelings. And she's apologizing. Do you accept it?
No.
You have no prior knowledge of what's going
Why
on.
am I going to accept an apology to something that I
and
don't
you're
know
like,
what
did she do?
To? Yeah, what did she do?
What did she do?
That's going to be the first question for any person that has a brain. They're going to be like, okay, what did she do for me to accept the apology for? If she
just said, oh, I cheated. Fine. Even if she just said I cheated.
She's not even admitting that.
She even admitting the cheating.
There's no accountability for
the cheating. You know how weird that is? She won't even say the word cheated.
Or
she won't even accept it as it's cheated.
Or sex with your cousin.
Sex with your cousin.
You can hear my cousin because I want her.
Yeah, but you can't wait for the next family reunion.
You what?
Crazy.
Oh, man,
that's
crazy
bro. Nah, Kenneth, you did a great job, man. You saved
all the receipts.
Mad descendants.
Oh,
from having the crook chin to.
Hold on. What was his name? Something the third.
Forgot. Hold on. Let me pull that up. What was it?
We're gonna be accurate with you guys.
A royal guy or something.
Royal guy.
What the
the chin dude.
The chin warrior. Yep, these niggas, bro.
Yep.
This
Yep.
What the hell? This is what he saved you from.
Yep.
This is what he saved you from, dog.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Can they see it?
Yo, this is what he saved you from, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You did good, Kenneth. You did your legacy proud. What the hell? What the hell? That's crazy. It would have been a little gremlin roaming the earth, bro, spreading like all his descendants would be related to themselves.
I'm your mom, your dad, your second cousin.
I'm my
your
own
uncle.
brother. I'm my own uncle. What the fuck? I'm my uncle, cousin, sister, brother. What the hell? Twice removed.
Reach in our privacy. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to my truth and my story.
They know my truth.
This is my experience and the things that I went through in my relationship and in the past 2.5 years of my life.
What does that?
And I'm with you. The internet can take things, interpret things in their own way. So it is very important to clear up those specific parts, but you still leave a gap so that people can, fill in the pieces if they so choose. So you apologize for something, but you never explicitly say exactly what happened. And that's why even today, people are still saying that this is cap, that's cap, the third and the fourth. That vague apology matters the most because the rest of the video isn't even really about exposing the scandal. It's almost like she wanted to brush right past that real fast, do her best Barry Allen impression, speed right past it, so she can get to calling out anybody and everybody that is attached to this scandal.
First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did. I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem. I lost myself in our relationship, and I was in a very dark place at the time when I did what I did. I have to own up to what I did, and I have to take accountability for my actions. And in doing that, I've come to realize that I need help for myself and for all my loved ones around me.
What do you need help for?
I know I've done wrong. I fucked up. And I'm taking time away to seek professional help in order to correct my mistakes, reflect on what I've done, and become a better person.
What did you do? Mistakes of what? What did you do?
Bro.
If you're look, and I know we'll probably get some backlash from this, but it's like some people are gonna come on here and say, "Well, it doesn't matter what she did." I'm like, "Well, it does because you're putting it on the internet,
right?"
So you clearly want us to ask the questions,
right? Because
nobody with a brain is just gonna accept your answers and just be like,
and just okay,
good luck. You better tell me, what did you do? Oh, we're not doing this.
What is it? Nah, it's spooky.
If you didn't want nobody to ask questions, you wouldn't have put it on the internet. So the people who are going to respond with, well, why does it matter what she did? It does if you put it on the internet.
Point, I think this is just damage control at that point.
No, ain't no damage control. She's done.
But here's the thing.
She's done.
Initially, she deleted all her accounts or deactivated her accounts.
She done.
Who encouraged her to come back on?
Her cousin. Hey, for all we know, he's behind the camera.
You know what, low-key, I'm going to be honest. At this point, you might as well just
start an OF.
Link in the bio. Cuzzo POV.
It's either that or you go see Bonnie Blue, bro.
Cuzzo POV. Right. Right.
Yep.
Drinking alcohol with a baby, freaking
fetal alcohol syndrome.
The baby shower. Hey, you in the same camp. You in the same camp as Queen Succubus, bro. Queen Lilith, bro. Welcome to the club. Welcome to hell. What are you here for?
What level you want to go to?
What level you want to go to? Absolute Legion? Yeah, absolutely. What the fuck? Thanks, Bonnie Blue. I love it. You're a great role model.
You unleashed a whole new
You're
hell.
A great role model. Which means she sucked 1 million souls and then corrupted them in
a million or a billion?
A billion.
Yep.
And then released it back onto the general population.
High-ranking demon.
High-ranking.
As P-World
says. High-ranking, shape-shifting demons. Sent from the pits of hell to cause confusion and chaos.
Yep.
What the fuck? That's spooky. Spooky shit. Spooky shit.
But I would still like to come on here to share my story because regardless, I've done wrong and I did not have to go down that route and I deeply regret it. But there's more to my story and there's a lot of lies and misinformation being spread about me in order to farm more hate and negativity towards my name. And I would like to clear up a lot of things. First, I want to address the...
Pause. There you go. Jeff. No. Yes, I get it. Omizi paused it at 1 minute, 19 seconds. That was the apology. It should have ended there.
Right.
Why didn't it?
It shouldn't have been.
Why
the
did it
whole-
go on for
right,
12 minutes and
right.
why did it go on for 11 more minutes?
Right, because you could see the soullessness in the eyes. She was ready.
Well,
she
look,
came for war.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The apology was the 1 minute and 19 seconds. Everything else after that had nothing to do with you sleeping with your cousin at all.
That's spooky.
It was just accusations.
Accusations. What the fuck?
You see what I'm saying?
Nah, that's spooky.
Accountability over.
Nah, that's spooky. Is the accountability in the room with us?
1 minute and 19 seconds out of 12. That's what I'm saying. It didn't make any sense for her to make 11 minutes after that.
Bruh, I hope there's an accountability monster in the Backrooms movie. If they make a part 2. Main character.
It actually did very well, so they might actually do
Absolutely. Main character is her. And it's accountability of chasing her.
it. Oh, the actual word.
And the only way to escape is to find the reason why. You what?
Amazing.
Oh, man.
This is where I believe K Verts messes up. Again, your family doesn't agree with the choices that you made, but you never explicitly explain the choices that you made. She's going to try to tie in Snow Cone's allegations about family disowning her. She's leaving out big chunks that still give people a bunch of pause.
Firstly, I want to clear up that I wasn't disowned by anybody, and I still have a great relationship with my mother.
Please go inside, sleep it off, eat and go to sleep. So every day go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if your mom knows what else to say.
Not conversation. That's just
just go to sleep.
It's like when mom hits us up every morning and says good morning, and then if we don't respond, then she calls. So it's like a good morning text or good night text. It's not.
I don't know they family dynamic, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Every day seems like go to sleep.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Go to. Hey, you
That's
can't
why-
sleep that. Shit
See,
off,
that's why
bro.
you don't put screenshots on.
You can't sleep that shit off, bro.
There's a magic thing called the spacebar pause button, where
You can't sleep.
where you can reach.
Oh, you can't sleep that shit off. Every day you wake up, it's still gonna be you fucked your cousin. That's it. Sorry for the end of time. You might as well just stay off the internet, or
Become a monk.
the become a monk, nigga. Oh
Sorry, become a
no,
monk.
you gotta become a monk.
Become a monk.
Nah, that's spooky. That's so spooky.
Yep.
Every day you wake up. Like, imagine her trying to just nonchalantly come back to stream.
It's not sorry.
Nah, bro.
So they're gonna be like, so the sabbatical you were taking, was it with your cousin?
Oh my god.
It's just gonna be cousin jokes.
It's just cousin jokes.
Yeah, it's just gonna be cousin jokes.
Oh, it's gonna be
I
cousin
feel bad for her, bro.
jokes. That's tough. That's tough.
This was a fallacious rumor that was started by someone that I thought was a friend, and
Bro, that's not your vocab.
Fallacious.
I seen
your
clips.
streams!
Yeah, I seen your stream clips, bro.
You speak any
You
Ebonics.
speak mad.
Get the fuck out of
you
here, bro.
speak mad Florida. You speak mad yee.
This is fallacious.
Fallacious. I had never heard that word.
Okay, guys,
gracefully.
I need you to do me a favor. If you make it this far in the video, watch how her eyes keep shifting to the side as she
She's
reads,
reading off something.
as she
dog.
reads off of something, because this is not her. Like I said, when people talk, their eyes always go everywhere because they're thinking of their thoughts.
Yeah, you're thinking. You think of your thoughts.
You think of your thought.
words, right?
But if you're reading something off the prompt of the top of your head, like if it was like genuine, again, not saying she's lying, not saying she's telling the truth, but if it was genuine, you would literally just speak your mind. Because I've seen a lot of those videos where people speak their mind, where they're
it's dynamic.
They're
It's
dynamic.
very-
They're emotional.
right.
They start crying. They like they give you everything. You understand what I'm saying? But not saying that she has to cry or anything like that.
Right.
But it's like
it's just
you can tell when somebody's just her eyes just shift one way.
like she'll
one
read
way.
a block
Yep.
and then say the thing.
Yep.
And then read a block and then say
Say
the
the thing.
I'm surprised she ain't had no background music. Because I remember there was an apology.
She'll add it later.
There was an apology where they did play sad music in the background. It's like that one trend where they set up the camera.
Yep.
And then
Oh yeah. I broke up.
I broke up with my boyfriend.
Hold on. Let me set my tripod right here. Hold on.
this is my first
All right.
week.
Hit record. I'll cut off the first part with the tool. Okay. All right.
Like, what are we doing?
All right. Pause. All right.
I'm tired.
All right. Let me edit this.
I'm tired.
Upload.
man. I'm sick of the LARP.
I want to have
sick of the
500,000
alarm.
views. Do it again.
I'm sick of the like, yeah, don't keep re-uploading that.
You know what we're going to start calling this segment? We're going to start calling this segment the LARP Kings. We're going to call out everybody that starts LARPing on the internet.
No, I'm tired of the LARP shit, dog.
LARP
I'm
React.
sick
We're
of this
we're
shit.
probably going to start calling it LARP
This
Reactions.
is the anti-LARP movement, bro.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yep.
the
We're going to be
fuck?
like LARP Reactions.
You know what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is. You know why we're roasting you, why we're clowning you.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up. Like, stop.
We'll read the
being
comments. We'll
fake,
read the
bro.
comments after, Jeff.
Just say what you did. Just say the thing.
Yep.
Say what it is. Why is that so hard?
Pause.
Why? Pause. Why? Just say what it is. If I know I fucked up, I know I fucked up. I will say the thing that I fucked up on.
Yep.
That way I can acknowledge that is the truth. That is reality. That is what it is.
Yep.
Jeez, man.
Yep.
You think we're really dumb. You think the whole there's only two great detectives to ever exist in the history of mankind. Number one is Batman. Number two is the internet.
I mean, perfect example. Look how well Omizi is doing. He's dissecting the video.
Right.
He's literally showing you the loopholes, and he's telling
Like,
you,
what are we
okay, this is
talking
what it is.
about? You brought it. Okay. You brought it to the internet. Well, actually, your ex brought it to the internet, but rightfully so. I don't give a shit.
Because he knew.
I don't give a shit. Rightfully so. Because clearly you were on some demon time in collecting evidence of shit and saving shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because you even said you got the video of when he did grape you.
Assault, right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if Omizi's going to show that in there, but
Yeah.
spooky shit.
It's completely untrue. My family does not agree with the choices that I made, but they're standing beside me as I continue to get help and work to better myself. I also want to talk about a stream that my ex was on where he alleged that I did not want to publicly claim him and I wanted to hide our relationship from the internet. But in reality, in the first year of us being together, we actually had a popular couple page. And the real reason why I want
Popular. But fallacious, though, right?
Popular.
Popular, but fallacious.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. As a guy that reads,
Popular.
fallacious, but popular.
Fallacious soliloquy. What?
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Dihydrogen monoxide, right?
Yeah, she gonna say
Popular.
That. She gonna say that too, bro.
wanted to go private was because at the time I had a lot of people actively telling me to leave him because it was toxic.
Oh, she put a note on that bottom.
I had a lot of people actively telling me to leave him
I would often discuss his toxic behavior towards me and
because it was toxic. I also want to make it clear that any cousin or stepbrother or any content like that we made together was his idea and he convinced me to do it.
So you're blaming him because you slept with
that's
your cousin?
spooky. That's what I'm saying. Wait.
So let me get this straight.
It was his idea when you literally have a whole bucket list. I
So-
that. It was
So because
his
he
idea.
made you stream with a family member, it's his fault.
Why would he even want to play that role?
Like
In what?
it's his fault. His penis allegedly.
No.
Slipped into your
She's
cooter.
blaming him for the cousin content her and her ex did.
This is a sick Negro.
The levels, the steps you gotta take.
What do you call those demons that like to manipulation?
Manipulation.
Yeah, this is the best manipulation ever.
Nah. All right. But go ahead.
The next thing I want to address is a very serious topic. It is my belief that in any form should be taken serious and never lightly. While I understand the streaming business and the need to say crazy
Shouts out Men's Mental Health.
Yep. Happy Men's Mental Health Month,
Happy
guys.
Men's Mental Health Month.
The number is on the bottom of the screen running through the video if you guys
Absolutely.
check it out.
If you guys want to check it out,
Yeah. Should be.
you guys want it'll scroll past.
Yeah, it'll scroll past. It'll like I said, it'll play through all the videos, guys.
Type.
But happy Men's Mental Health Month.
Happy Men's Mental Health. Let me see if I could
Make it bigger.
y'all.
Create bigger font size. Oh, it's on the top.
That's on the top. Do you want me to move it to the bottom?
Yeah, because we weren't. Well, it's already on the bottom. Look.
No, now it's on the bottom.
Oh, you're talking about when we play the video.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. But there you go, guys. It's on the bottom right here.
Yep.
Shouts out, Men's.
crazy things in order to get clips and impressions. The thought that somebody's personal struggle with can be used by anybody for jokes and views is disgusting and cruel. While I've been off the net, it was brought to my attention that the streamer Snowcone made up a false rumor that I admitted myself into a facility in order to get attention from my ex. I was involuntarily admitted into a facility because I was considered a threat to myself. It was a terrible experience and one I would never wish on myself or anybody else. I want to say to Snowcone that while I understand I'm not perfect and I've done wrong, regardless of the mistakes that a person makes, that doesn't give you.
Wait, did you say multiple attempts?
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right, let me stop you right there.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you this, and then I want you to give your opinion. As a person who has experienced multiple friends that have taken their own lives, what do you get from that? From somebody that.
Two things. One, it's weird because self-deletion is not a hard thing to accomplish.
It's not.
And two,
people who do it never announce it.
They never announce it.
it.
Everyone that I've ever known, close friends who have taken their own lives, I usually ended up having to find out the next day in the morning.
Yeah.
When I was expecting to see them.
Yeah. Because they act normal.
Yeah. I've hung out with friends the day before they took their lives, and I wouldn't have been able to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, so to throw something like that out as a way to deflect from the accusations, and I'm saying this personally, I just think it's a slap in the face to all those who have actually
taken their lives. Yeah.
And who went unheard, especially when they were at their lowest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. This feels, like I said, it feels really LARPy. Multiple times. It's very simple.
And then you make it known. You're like,
right.
I'm going to delete myself if you don't answer.
You're publicly announcing it.
I'm going to do this. So that means you're using the fact that you might take your own life as leverage for the person to talk to you.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And that is truly disgusting to me.
And I think the thing is, and I always say this to people, I've learned through you and through everybody that has lost somebody, is that the person will be themselves. They will never say anything. They're silent about what they're going to do. They never announce it. They just do it.
Right.
So it's like everybody that always jokes around and says, "Oh, I'm gonna delete myself. I'm gonna." They never do it because because like you said, it's very easy. It's very easy to take yourself out. But
you see what I'm saying?
Nobody just announces.
Right. There's a level of conviction.
Yeah. At that point, it's just attention.
Right.
To me.
That's what I'm saying. There's a level of conviction because the people who do that, they've already accepted,
made up their mind.
Right. I'm not thinking about the future after this.
On the serious.
I've already accepted that I'm not thinking about the future. Some may say it's a selfish act. You know, that's up to you.
And the one thing I always hear from everybody that has lost a loved one too is they're like, I never knew. There was no signs. They're never going to show you.
They're never going to show you.
They'll suffer in silence.
They're never going to show you.
Yeah, men and women suffer in silence when it comes to taking their own lives, and it's like.
And what are the statistics? I think men are a lot more successful.
Women, it says women do attempt more, but men are more successful. Yeah,
because there's conviction.
Yes,
it's not.
And they always use tools that will make
quick,
it easy.
right.
Where women will usually go for like pills and
alcohol
stuff like
overdose.
Yeah, and that never works because they end up catching them, pumping their stomach, and blah blah blah.
Like even if you look at Japan back in the day when the self-deletion rates were through the roof.
Yep. And then they had a forest. They
actually had a forest.
Yeah.
Those are people with conviction.
Yeah.
They suffer in silence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying, oh, that's something you should do. But like what you're dealing with isn't self-deletion ideation. Mm-hmm. It's you're in a low place and you're crying out for help, and your only way to get that is through leveraging, your own life against the people who actually care about you.
Crazy.
And I think that's fucked up.
No,
I think that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you may be dealing with a mental issue, but
not to the point where you need to use it as leverage.
That's absolute manipulation. That's emotional abuse. That's so fucked.
Because a lot of people will be like,
So
I don't want the reason to be why he or she did this to themselves. And it's like, why would you do
Why would you do that? And then you have that hang over them.
Yep.
To get that power.
Whether it to stay in a relationship.
Right.
Or
it's either to control, save face, deflect. And it's like, come on, man.
Let's do better.
We got to do better, bro. But that's what I'm saying. It's that whole soulless shit.
Yeah. It's easy.
It's that soulless shit. I don't know what the is wrong with this generation.
Yeah, it's easy to say or
these
do.
Like, they don't value, like,
life.
Nothing. The sanctity of anything. Everything is disposable. Oh, bro. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. But I digress.
Or anybody else the right to belittle, lie, and create false allegations about somebody's mental health. Throughout all of this, you've lied and made up rumors about me in order to hate farm me and get attention. Even though you don't care, I want to let you know that the rumors you created have garnered me more death threats and have made my mental battle that much harder. And that hurts from someone I considered a close friend.
Now, while the call logs with her family members don't really prove or disprove anything that either Snow Cone or K Verts is saying about, the relationship dynamic with the family, the discharge papers, the images from the hospital, and all those things should be pushed back to the allegations that Snow Cone made. Snow Cone claimed that all of this stuff was fake and false, and that she had a bunch of voice notes, but never really provided anything for fear of legal threats from the family members or from K-Verts or from somebody. And it may have been against YouTube's TOS, Twitch's TOS. So she decided to omit that. But with that being said, when K-Verts came to the internet and dropped her receipts, it may have cleared up any drama relating to any false, ending of a life narrative. Now take note as the way that this whole video is structured, which part she puts in front of which, when she decides to prove, claims with evidence, and when she does not, because this next part,
what is the timeline? I could present evidence, but what is the timeline?
Yeah, we don't know the timeline, because that could have been before you met him.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what's so disingenuous about a lot of, not even in just her case. When you see any of these things pop off, like, there's so much tailoring behind what they want you to see, and then there's so much confidence behind what they tailored for you to see. You see what I'm saying? When it's like, and that's why she keeps prefacing it with my truth, because deep down in her subconscious, she knows if she says the truth, the universe is gonna punish her.
Yeah, so she has to say my truth.
Whatever
she believes in or does not believe in.
No, it doesn't matter. Energy in, energy out. Law of equal exchange.
Regardless of
I don't care what you believe. There's a universal law of energy exchange. I don't care what you believe.
What you put in and what you
put in is what you get out. Yep. So if she said the truth, the universe would punish her. What did I tell you about living in truth?
Yeah.
What did I tell you about living in truth? You must dispel energy, expend energy for that truth to become reality.
And she's dispensing a lot of energy for people to believe her in that. And it's like nobody believes her.
Right.
But that's the clapback. It's already, the universe is already giving that energy back because nobody believes.
No one's believing.
No one's believe. Like I said, we'll read some of the comments at the end.
Comes deeper and darker is very, very important. It's very, very important how she decided to lay it out. It's very, very important what she decided to include, because this is the portion where she claims that Kenneth, her ex, took advantage of her.
The next thing I'm about to say are serious allegations that I know men often get falsely accused of, but at the end of the day, all I can do is come on here, tell my truth, tell my story, whether you want to believe it or not. There was a time where me and my ex were drinking, and he forced himself onto me. And it hurt, and I cried, and I begged him to stop, but he never did. At the time of my essay, he was very rough on me, which resulted in me getting a cut on my insides. Luckily, I was able to take video footage of the blood
You see how she's reading?
on the scene and a graphic photo of the damage that resulted.
Now, this is the part where I want to make it very clear. We are no longer on addressing any of the allegations when it comes to her sleeping with.
And that's the issue.
That's where it takes a darker turn.
Because like I said,
it's like, is this the truth? You now put out into the universe that this is what happened.
Yep.
So now
you're making
the
a
universe,
serious accusation.
Yes, this is a serious. That is energy.
Yep.
That is a serious word. Words mean things.
Yep.
Words create reality. So what you are accusing this man of is serious. So the evidence must
back it up.
Be airtight, undeniable.
Mm-hmm. Because we've learned.
We know we've learned.
Yeah.
We understand, especially as men, we understand, especially as men with sisters.
We are guilty,
especially as men with women friends who've experienced these things.
Mm-hmm. The accusation portion.
The accusation portion.
The threat that can be put on your life. Your life is literally in
your
danger.
life is in danger, because if I find out someone did something like that to my sister, to my women friends.
Oh, we going to jail.
Oh yeah.
We going to jail.
I'll try again in the next life.
We going to jail.
You see what I'm saying?
Whether we go together,
right? I hate you, nigga. Let's die.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you need to understand the amount of energy behind what your accusation is. So I hope she has that.
And then that's another thing too. It does a disservice to the women that
actually go through this shit.
And that's what pisses me off the most.
I hope for everything in me, bro.
On my mama.
You have the evidence to back up this accusation, because brother,
it's a huge backlash.
Brother.
Huge backlash, because you're going to be destroying somebody's life.
Ooh, brother. And then it'll come back to destroy yours. Double, tenfold, doubling, give it back. Return to sender.
Yep.
Uno reverse plus draw 4.
Yep.
A family member having a relationship that was more romantic with a family member. We are well beyond that. We are at the unearthing of the deep and dark traumas in their relationship as a whole. K-Verts came to this video to not clear her name, because in my opinion, there hasn't been the best job of doing so. Even taking accountability. I wouldn't say that that's the case either. But with a whopping 8.
This seems like you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you.
Hurt you, yeah. Yeah, and then she
I'm gonna take the whole shit down.
And then it's like it's in a genuine sense, so you can feel bad for her.
Well, it's not even. It's like, I feel like she sees no other way out, so now I'm just taking you to hell with me.
With me, I got you.
I'm gonna drag you to
hell. It's I'm gonna try to make you forget by putting this serious accusation.
No one's gonna forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because what will always be the question? What led to the accusation?
Yeah.
Why would she make the claim?
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if it deflects off of, okay, she's the victim of his abuse. The first claim still hasn't been addressed.
Yeah, it hasn't.
You understand what I'm saying?
It was only in the minute 19.
So now it's like,
I thought it was an apology video.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
So now it's, you cut me, you embarrassed me, you ruined my reputation.
So now
yours. I'm gonna do you dirty.
Yep. I'm gonna ruin yours.
I'm gonna ruin yours.
And they'll believe me because
spooky shit.
Spoken words.
Spooky shit. On the victim. Spooky shit.
8 minutes left into the video, she says that Kenneth is putting hands on her, is verbally, physically, and mentally abusing her.
There's two sides to every story, and our relationship was unhealthy on both ends. And since he's decided to bring my wrongdoings onto the internet, I believe it is only fair that I bring attention to the things that he has done to me, because my ex was never a saint like he paints himself out to be. We had a lot of arguments throughout our relationship, which was normal. But what wasn't normal was the verbal, mental, and physical abuse that he subjected me to. He put me through a lot in the past 2.5 years of us being together. He even forced himself on me at one point. My ex dealt with a lot of anger issues, and he would often use me as an outlet. For example, he would punch things, he would rip wires in the heat of conflicts. He would yell at me when I cried, and he would gaslit me until I believed I was the problem. There were 2 or 3 times where my ex would approach me unprovoked and put me in a chokehold against the wall, and I would tell him to stop because I was scared, and he wouldn't.
That is deep, that is heavy, that is a serious, and I do mean serious allegation that, you know, I can't take lightly on this channel. Now, again, so far it is speculation. It is he say, she say.
said, yeah.
When we get into Kenneth's response a little bit later, he will have a counter to that same exact incident. But my, oh my,
That's heavy.
That's
wow.
serious.
This video.
That's heavy.
That's what I'm
dog.
saying. It's serious. That's what that, like you said. Dude.
That's heavy, dog. Like that's.
But again, it's that easy. Unfortunately, Jeff, it's that easy.
I understand you now, Fuzzy.
Fuzzy nuts.
Fuzzy nuts. Go and get your robo girlfriend, dog.
I thought that was a
No, that was Fuzzy.
Fuzzy. Okay.
That was Fuzzy.
Yeah, I sent a video to Vic this morning.
Yeah,
He's
go
like,
go ahead and get your robo girlfriend,
Yeah.
Fuzzy. What?
It's that easy.
What? That's spooky. That is spooky.
Like
you
I
know what that
said-
reminds me of?
What?
Oh, the whole Mizkif thing. Remember when what's her name had accused Mizkif
Of
of
SA?
SA?
Yeah.
And then he took that 90 light years to court and everything.
Gotcha.
Came after everyone involved in that. Because that's serious, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
And in every single instance, like when it involves streamers, when there's a fallout, 9 times out of 10, when it's between intersex streamers, or yeah, intersex, right?
Say male and female.
Well, between, like boy and girl streamers.
Yeah.
And then there's a fallout,
Yeah.
boom. Like a trap card, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like we summon in Exodia. Ultimate move. Boom. And that's the easiest way to just destroy someone's entire reputation.
I got you.
Just the thought that there's an allegation that exists out there.
That's why we always tell the boys always carry receipts.
Always carry
Always
receipts.
screenshots, recordings.
Just
receipts,
the
all
thought
that,
of an
yeah.
allegation. There's already a section of the population who already, boom, the allegation was made, you're guilty.
Yep. Yeah, you're guilty until proven innocent.
The allegation was made, you're guilty. We've seen Amber Heard. We've seen the Amber Heard thing.
Yep. And you still got people that still believe her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even with the receipts.
Absolutely.
And then remember, the question is, what did he do? It never is, how did it lead up to this? It's always, what did the guy do?
That's spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky shit.
Made Kenneth's video quickly look less about some sort of betrayal situation that happened, but more of a response to actions that happened in their relationship. I know that sounds crazy, but these kids are seemingly going through it as told by K-Verts, and now everything is out in the open. And it's just up to us as a community to kind of understand or unpack what's going on. It's disgusting. And for what it's worth, this should not be on the internet.
No.
K-Verts didn't prove everything that she said in this video, but she did make it harder to believe that Kenneth's video was the entire truth. But see, this is why Kenneth's response video matters so much. K-Verts changed the entire narrative in a singular video. It came less about her and her relationship with her cousin and more about the relationship that her and Kenneth had, the toxic one, the alleged abusive one, the one that, experienced a ton of trauma. And while there were gaps, people were moving in a different direction when this video came out. But as soon as Kenneth decided to respond, he is acknowledging that some of these things are true, but there are so many missing pieces to the puzzle that she isn't putting out there, and it's not gonna make her look any better in the light.
Toxic and abusive. This is what they always do. You see how the shift went from, I'm sorry for sending my cousin nudes. I'm sorry that you had to walk in on me showing my bare ass and my bare ass cheeks to my cousin on FaceTime, to me and my ex had a very toxic relationship, and it was very abusive.
One thing I do want to note in this conversation, because K-Verts has been labeled as this cousin smasher, and for what it's worth, I think that was pretty much everybody's takeaway from the original video.
Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, because
And that's where it stood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where it stood. But the embarrassment was too much. So let's see the receipts.
Video
Let's
that
see the
Kenneth did put out
receipts.
on the internet. But in his response to the entire situation, he doesn't make it explicitly clear that there was any sort of penetrative intercourse going on. He talks about things that were, going around the event that were more schmexual, like sending explicit pictures, doing things that were probably a little bit too close to home and comfort and stuff like that. If I'm recalling correctly, Kenneth never explicitly said in his first video that they had any sorts of penetrative schmexual intercourse. It's always been, you know, kind of like a fill in the blank type of situation with onlookers. So like I said earlier, the narrative has totally shifted from if she had schmexual interactions with her cousin to who was more abusive in the relationship. Right. And Kenneth is trying to get in front of that narrative and let the world know that while he did play some sort of part in this, it is totally on her. That the toxicity is not one-sided at all.
Bro, there were so many times where I tried to get away from you, but literally at TwitchCon, bro, I was in LA with my boys, bro, and you was literally calling me, telling me that you was finna, you know, and then like, bro, like, I don't know, like, bro, I get soft around that. I get soft with that shit because.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just throw it around. I'm going to delete myself. Right. And then he, like he said, he was in LA, wherever she was at, and it's like, oh, if you don't answer, I'm going to delete myself. That's crazy.
That's gross.
That's so crazy. Like I said, it does a disservice to everybody.
That's so gross.
That's disrespectful.
Because, like, bro, I don't want to be responsible. I care about you. I don't want to see you do that to yourself. But when you're calling me, spamming me, saying you're going to do that, bro, keep in mind, TwitchCon was in San Diego. I was in LA. She started saying she was going to do that stuff, saying how sad she was. This was like when we broke up or whatever, back in like TwitchCon last year.
At the end of the day, I chose to stay in this relationship and I made my mistakes. I regret everything.
Like, I hate how you're trying to make it seem like you was trapped in here, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, I fought demons to leave your ass, bro. I fought demons.
You didn't fight the high ranking one. No. What the fuck?
Demons to leave you, nigga. I was fighting demons,
he
bro.
didn't go to the ninth circle like Dante did. Dante's Inferno, bro.
You need to go to ninth circle, bro.
Everybody that knows me knows that you like manipulated me and I was fighting demons. I tried leaving several times, bro. Several times, but each time I tried to leave, it was, Kenneth, please, I'm about to manipulation, bro. Like, it's just like, bro.
Kenneth attempts to squash any narrative.
So the manipulation was, I'm going to delete myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to delete myself if you leave. That's crazy. And then, I get it. It's a he said, she said type situation, but I've experienced that.
I've experienced that too.
I've experienced that personally in my relationship.
Yep, I have 100.
So it's not like, so it's like, yeah, it's his perspective, but he's basically speaking the same language that
a lot of men speak. Yeah.
That's
when they're trapped in a toxic relationship.
That's the go-to.
It's like, what's the ultimate cost of you fucking up in your relationship? Oh, I'm gonna delete myself.
Yep.
I'm gonna delete myself.
Then it's gonna be your fault if I'm gone. Yeah.
Ugh.
She and him stayed because this was a first love trauma bond type of situation. He's stating that the reason why they even continued the relationship is because anytime that he would try to leave, she would threaten some sort of self-harm, which the claim can be substantiated by her previously stating that she checked into some sort of mental facility because she was going to self-harm herself. Self-harm isn't something that is, self-harm can come in situations and instances of great trauma, like, I don't know, being exposed on the internet, but this is also something that could have been a part of a past situation or scenario. This is something that she's gone to before. Yeah. And I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all, especially most of us who have dealt with relationships in our younger days. This is the exact same type of toxic energy that people have displayed beforehand.
Thank you.
So that means it's a repeating behavior.
Knows this shit. And I'm gonna speak for men. Every man knows this shit.
Repeating behavior.
If you're in a toxic relationship, the woman will always throw her life in your face.
Yep. Because it's that easy.
Because it's that easy. Men commit it more, but they throw it in your face to take something from you. I don't know what it is, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like pre-programmed. I don't know what it is, bro.
And it's just nasty that this is all being aired out in the fashion that it is. But so it's good that Kenneth is not denying any sorts of toxicity in the relationship. Hell, he's even talking about how he may have played a part in some of it. And we'll get to that in 2 seconds. But what he is vehemently denying is any sort of physical abuse that he played parts in.
He even forced himself on me at one point.
Say wallahi. Yo, hold on.
My ex dealt with a lot of anger issues and he would often use me as—
Okay, no. First of all, I've never forced myself on her. I've never put my hands on her. I've never done any of the sort, my nigga. First of all, this girl was literally like, I don't know what's the word, like over sexual or like overly freaky. But bro, she literally would force me.
Goon brain.
She goon brain.
Like we said in the last
She goon brain.
2 reactions, a lot of these girls these days are goon brain. They're internet brained, and
They basically go through every type of pornography until they find the one that satisfies them. And then for her, it's probably
But that can also stem from childhood shit.
Because SA when she was
you
little.
know what I'm saying? Childhood shit.
Yeah.
And it boom. Like prime example, you know, like I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because it warps your idea of what love or an affection is.
I got you.
Especially when you experience something like that.
Young.
Super, super young.
Yeah.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like,
I understand what you're saying.
You know, so I can understand from that lens, but it's like that's not something you can't work through or get help or truly understand and understanding yourself and understanding why you're this way. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just submitting to it and just be like,
and it shouldn't take you getting caught to want to change.
Yeah, that's
because like she said, she's gonna step away
to
get help. But it's like, yeah, but you had to get caught in order to say you wanna fix whatever it is.
That's spooky. That's spooky, man. Childhood trauma is not an excuse for the choices you continue to make in your adult life.
Yep.
Everything you do is because of a choice.
And don't use the frontal lobe thing, please.
I swear if I hear
it's a myth, guys.
I swear
whoever says frontal lobe not developed,
I swear if I hear like it's a switch.
Yeah,
like it's an awareness switch, and then boom, all the wisdom and knowledge just
and then you just stop doing dumb shit.
Yeah,
no, niggas do dumb shit all the way till they die.
What the hell?
So it's not frontal lobe.
Frontal lobe.
No, it's not frontal lobe. That's a myth, guys. It's been proven.
Get out of here, bro. Unless you have trisomy,
because
fetal alcohol.
Yeah, because everybody's brain develops
anything
at different
like that,
ages.
bro. Right.
It's not 25 specific.
Boom, and then
they just pick that number and then people stuck with it.
I just know. Eureka.
Yeah.
I'm not a piece of shit.
I'm intelligent now.
I'm intelligent.
I won't make bad decisions. Fuck out of here,
bro.
To drink, I've never drank.
Oh. Let's go back a little bit.
She literally would force me to drink.
I don't know. As a man, no one should be able to force you to do anything.
Yeah, no. It's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah, that's not an excuse.
Right. You could have easily walked away from.
Said no. Unless she threatened to like break up with it.
Who gives a shit?
Well, I'm saying, but that's he cares. But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Because unless she threatened to break up with him.
Exactly, because it would then escalate to I'm gonna end myself.
Yep.
No, I got you. A simple disagreement will escalate to I'm gonna end myself.
Yeah.
That's L's, bro. But me, I would have just been like, do you, bro. Try again in the next life.
I don't drink.
I'm so sorry. If you come to me, if anyone ever tried to throw that over my head, goodbye. You can go ahead and do that on your own. I'm not going to feel guilty. You can try again in the next life.
Sensation. Oh, man.
You can try again in the next life. Because if you wanted help, you would go get help.
Yep.
You would talk to someone.
Yep.
You would do something about it.
Exactly.
Bruh.
I agree.
What are we doing, bro?
We don't
Every time we have a disagreement, I'm gonna end myself? Seriously? Okay, then. Go ahead. Please, be my guest. And then I'll just walk away. I'll walk away and know that you're trying again in another life in which you didn't end yourself. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Infinite realities. You'll be prime somewhere else, just not here. What the f***?
Try again.
Try again in the next life. That's why I'm going to tell try again in the next life. Yep. You die and then you wake up.
There's no leverage over
me. You die and then you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and do the thing, and then when you open your eyes and be like, oh, it's just a dream. All right, there you go. But I'm not going to be in that other reality. What the fuck?
I've never drank or smoked in my life until I met this girl. I have African parents, and I don't f with that shit. I remember there was a time she even forced me to get my matching tattoo. There was a time I think
nobody can force you to do anything.
No, I don't like his
no.
Force make.
No, fuck out of here, bro.
Force make.
That's a decision you make. Nobody can make it.
Grown ass man.
Yeah, because I've known people that say, "Hey Jeff, come on, just drink." I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I don't like the taste of alcohol. That's not
even. I can't convince you. You're so based and like, I'm not gonna do it.
I always tell people I'll just be the DD. It's fine.
Right.
I'll be the designated driver. That's fine. I'll watch out for you guys. I'll make sure you guys are good. I'll be the DD, but I don't drink.
Yeah,
give me water, give me milk, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit.
Unless she held a freaking pistol or a gun to your head, No one can force or make you do anything.
Yep.
No one can force you or make you do anything.
So
you understand what I'm saying?
No,
So
she didn't make you drink.
No,
you chose.
On his end, he needs to take accountability for that.
Yeah, fuck out of here,
No,
bro.
no, no. She forced and
She
made
can't
me.
force you
I
to do
tried
nothing.
to. What do you mean you tried to? That's the same way as her saying, I tried multiple times to self-delete.
Yeah.
You tried multiple times to leave. You literally could just leave. Block the number.
It's that easy.
Delete.
Yep.
Restrict profile.
Exactly.
Sorry, you lost your investment. Sorry, you spent a lot of money. Oh, well, you got the rest of your life of peace.
Especially if you're in your earlier mid-20s.
That's what I'm saying. It really is that simple. We all know what the it is.
Yep.
Why are we acting like we don't know what it is? I'm tired of people living this fake movie fantasy of this story they believe they want to play in their head when reality's still existing. It's still happening right now outside of that soliloquy you're writing in your head.
That's the thing. It's a story.
Oh, dude.
They got to live out the fantasy.
It's so spooky. And it permeated off of him because now I was forced.
No,
How?
you can't. No one can force you to do shit.
How?
No one can force you to do shit.
It was at the tattoo shop or whatever. I was on a double date. It was me, her, and two girls. They were gay or whatever. And bro, she was getting on me because I told her I did not want to smoke and drink, bro. She was literally in the hallway crashing out on me because I did not want to smoke and
Let
drink.
her crash out.
Then let her crash
Let
out.
her crash out. That's
crash
it.
out.
Walk away.
Walk away. What the fuck?
Clearly, it's a toxic relationship. Let her crash out. Because when you what does a child do? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. When you go to Publix and in the bakery, they give those kids those free cookies.
Right.
If a parent says no, you can't have a free cookie, and the kid crashes out, and then you give in to the kid crashing out, then the kid's gonna be like, I can keep doing it over and over again.
You know what I'm getting from this? There was no relationship. The relationship was just based off of sex.
Yeah.
Like that was the only thing maintaining it. The guaranteed, for him in my case, like what were you actually building with this girl?
Nothing. Unless they're just feeding off each other's chats and stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying? What were you actually okay? What? She's pretty. You get to, sleep with her.
Is it arm candy?
Like, I don't understand. Like, because clearly, you've tried multiple times to leave this girl.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yeah. What is it?
Was it too much? Is it sunk cost fallacy? You spent too much money on her?
Oh yeah.
Take the L. You gotta
like
take
an investment.
The L.
Like an investment. I got you.
Take the L.
Yeah, bro. Accountability is on both of you guys, not just
right.
one.
Take the
like
L.
You're not putting parts of the story.
That's why I don't like these surface level. Oh, it's based off of attraction. That's how you know a relationship is based off of attraction.
And that's why
initial
it fails.
attraction.
That's why it fails.
And that's why it always fails. Because none of you guys know who y'all are. And the only thing you guys enjoy about each other is each other's bodies and the way each other looks. And how you guys improve each other's reputation. But there's no actual substance. Because everything goes back to physical shit. Everything. Holes. Nasty shit.
Stick my penis in it.
Right. Stick in the hole. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. There's no substance to these relationships besides, oh, man, I just wanted to smash. And then it just kept developing. We wanted to keep smashing, but we needed a reason to sustain this fucking relationship.
Yep.
And then just play this facade.
It's weird.
So you go on a double date to what? Smoke and drink?
That's weird.
That's fucking weird.
That shit niggas did in the 90s.
You just go on a date to smoke and drink.
There's no substance.
There's no substance to that.
And then she forced you to get a tattoo.
And then she
fuck
forced
out of here,
you
bro.
to get a tattoo. Wow,
fuck out of here, bro.
That's
she didn't force you to do
This girl was a bad influence, always trying to force me to smoke and drink every time she seen me, bro. Because she didn't know how to do anything, process or have fun without that shit, bro. Like, I just don't fuck with that shit. I don't fuck with smoking or drinking, but, I just thought, she's my ex or whatever. At the time, she was my girl, whatever. I was like, you know what, bro? Fuck it, bro. She wants to do it, then fuck it.
But you see what I'm saying? That's his reasoning. She's my girl.
So I have to.
No,
you don't.
Ew.
No, you don't. Because that's where you set boundaries.
Ew.
But
That's where boundaries come
Yeah.
from. How long have y'all been together and she doesn't respect your boundaries?
2 years.
That's why you know it's based off of
surface level.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's surface level.
Yeah.
It's only physical attraction.
It's literally like
transactional.
a early 2000s rap song where they talk about smoking, drugs, bitches, cars, money. That's literally it.
Right. And it never went any deeper than that. And it's like, oh, well, we're supposed to do things because we have the title. Oh, Oh man, this is oof.
Nobody knows how a relationship anymore.
This is brain drain, dog.
You what?
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna do it with her.
This is
But I
brain
never did that shit just to do it, bro. I don't fuck with that shit.
An outlet. For example, he would punch things, he would rip wires in the heat of conflicts. He would yell at me when I cried.
I would punch things, my nigga. I've never punched shit. What are you talking about, bro? And yes, I ain't gonna lie, early back in the day, I did have like slight anger issues or whatever, but I would never touch her. I would never put my hands on her. But yes, this is already on the internet. Like, she's, every single time we break up, she goes to the internet and talks about this shit. Like, she's talked about this already. So why is she bringing this up again to make me look bad? Like, we're not forgetting the bucket list, bro. We're not forgetting how you
Not on phase, eat off body, schmex tape, head videos, HJ and spitting in mouth, handcuffing, tripod, public quickie, movie flick, or movie schmex.
That's crazy word.
Granted,
It all involves
the cousin.
debauchery.
Yeah, it involves the cousin.
Well, no, the bucket lists are things you do before you die.
Right. Granted, you could have, all right, let's say what makes it weird, because it's a normal bucket list,
Yeah.
but if this was between you and your wife, you know what I'm saying? Girlfriend.
Partner that's not related.
To you. Partner you don't share chromosomes with.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, that's crazy.
It gets weird because it's shared between her and the guy.
Yeah.
Like this, okay, this is like a secret, file. You know what I'm saying? You and your wife or your girl could spice up the relationship. But the fact that this is with another nigga that's not you, and it's her cousin, her blood cousin, her literal direct lineage first cousin, her uncle's son.
Or aunts.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's wild.
you cheated on me with your cousin.
Kenneth is not hiding from any of these admissions or proof that K Verts is bringing to the table, but he is claiming that they are all out of context. The letters are real, the messages are real, the anger issues are real, but to the point of him placing hands on her, that's where he's drawing the line. Now we're dealing with a context issue. Kenneth is saying that the evidence shows a toxic relationship, just like K Verts is saying. But Kenneth is saying that this doesn't prove that this is the worst version of him, one that can get him not just packed up off of the internet, but also have him facing legal backlash and consequences as well. Now, I talked about how K Verts is doing her evidence giving structurally. Now it's time to take into note how Kenneth is breaking this down structurally. Granted, he is just going straight through the video, but I think it's important that he is, trying to downplay, diminish any sort of evidence that she is saying that it lacks context. Because so far, we haven't approached the biggest claim in the video with what seems to be the most damning piece of evidence that Kenneth forced himself onto her and that left her in the bedroom in a bloody mess.
So, Saturday, July 13th, okay? 2 days before your birthday. There's blood on the floor, right? There's no way out of this one. Tell me why July 18th, the same year, by the way, a couple days after your birthday, there's blood on the sheets and...
Same floor.
Same floor.
Yep.
So July 13th through the 18th.
Yeah.
So there's date separation between this.
Yes, but what he's saying is she was on her period when it happened.
Okay.
On the pillows. You know why? Because you're a freak and you always wanted me to crack. Always. Even when you was on, your period. That time of the month. You thought if I didn't do it, I would think of you as disgusting. I didn't love you. So you know what?
Manipulation.
Damn.
Shame.
So if you don't do this nasty thing with me, I'm gonna assume you think I'm nasty, that I'm a freak, that I'm not normal.
So it looks like all of it was guilt me into.
Boy, I'd have just peeled her and left. I just peeled your entire being, your entire.
So what it seems like is she just manipulated and
that's
guilted him
not.
into doing things.
Absolutely not.
Which again, he had a choice not to do, but he did
right.
it.
That's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
like, and like you said,
you always have a choice, bro.
Again, but like you said, like what was the purpose?
You
of staying?
always have a choice.
What was the purpose of staying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What could she have done at that point before this event took place?
What was the purpose of staying? And then it said July 2024, right?
Right.
So that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Keep going.
That's when I explored that and we started doing that. And
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's violent and abusive for menial things. But the day he finds out you're smashing your cousin, all right, let me stop there.
Always had consent because that's what you wanted. You liked doing vampire sex.
Kenneth's biggest denial is that he did not essay her and he did not take advantage of her while she was drunk. The blood, in fact, is from situations, different times in which Kay Verts would ask Kenneth to have sexual relations with her while she was on her period. Now, there is no 100% proof of innocence on Kenneth's end right here. He just sprinkled in a little bit of he say, she say. Yes, a woman can like to have period schmecks, but that doesn't discount the fact that somebody can also take advantage of her and force themselves onto her. Kay Vertes does have proof that there is blood on the floor, but Kenneth does have proof she is into this type of schmexual encounter. Not one that we are, shaming on this side. Now, as sad as it is to say, there is not any definitive proof that can give one side or the other full clearance or freedom in this situation, but this is just what's been presented to us, and we have to report on it accordingly. What I will say in the portions in which I agree with Kenneth is that this entire story has now changed the entire narrative and conversation as to what we're talking about. No longer about the cousins, but more about the explicit toxic nature of this relationship. Look, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. While I am a fan of these types of stories from the messy and drama perspective, I'm not a fan of these types of stories from a fact-finding perspective. There was a lot, and I do mean a lot of evidence that was provided, but there were things that were so out of context that you have to even question the validity of these things. The paperwork about when she entered the mental facility is real, and those are things that are verifiable. I'm pretty sure you can call up the facility maybe and see if there's some sort of record of her being there. But the call logs with no timestamps about talking to your parents don't really connect and land to me. They're just set in a...
I have that on my phone. If I click on my call log, and I do this,
and I click on mom,
or I type in mom,
it'll just show me a whole bunch of mom incoming and outgoing calls.
Yeah, so
history.
You
gotta go to history.
Yeah, so if I what was it?
Even if you did that.
Yeah, that, and then hit history. That's literally it.
Right, it'll show you, and you could just,
and then I can break it down, and then just hit outgoing instead of or incoming instead of
outgoing, and it'll,
so
like
it doesn't show anything. Like, there's a lot of holes. Damn. That's why we say it's a serious accusation. It's not like we're saying we're not saying we believe you or we don't believe you. We're saying present it needs to be concrete.
Right.
Because I'm tired of this.
Another way to just destroy his reputation.
Because I'm tired of you're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
So it's like I need the facts. I need the information. If you're gonna put this out there,
absolutely,
make sure it's concrete. Don't just put it out there just to put it out there,
bro. I need facts, police reports. I need everything. I need messages of friends, anybody you talk to. Dates,
how long, locations.
When did this happen? How many? You know what I'm saying? Like, what led up to it? You know what I'm saying? There's always so many clues. There's always evidence. There's always evidence.
And avoid. And this remains true for all of these text exchange, video snippets, photo snippets, and all these other things that have no timestamps. Don't talk about the before and after and what happened surrounding this.
It's the whole, I time traveled, boom, no context.
Yep.
I don't have no prior knowledge of anything. Like, I was just born today, and then boom.
Situation. They're just pieces of evidence that can support a narrative that isn't really clear for a bunch of people. We do know something that is very clear. We didn't get an explanation as to the cheating situation in totality. There are still,
and now it's become
so that people can
a discussion on toxic and allegations.
Yep.
And it's like, damn.
That's a grape, all that.
Damn.
Yeah.
She knew exactly how to pivot that. That's so spooky.
Well, like you said, when you got practice manipulating and doing all that stuff.
That's so spooky.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's so spooky.
So many gaps in there. And more importantly, this new piece of narrative claiming that this relationship was OD toxic and there was abuse and all this other stuff is now put to the forefront. Claims that are heavy. Claims that should not be taken lightly and, hell, even placed on the internet, to be quite honest with you. And so now we have two sets of incomplete stories in which the internet will most likely run rampant with and say things that are totally out of pocket, out of character, and just run amok with. And all people really want to know is what happened with the cousin. But I'll do you one better. I'm going to grant both Kay Verts and Kenneth an opportunity to hop on a live stream, hop on a call, and really get to the bottom of this. I think what happens oftentimes with the internet is that people are allowed to talk at a camera without getting any sort of pushback, follow-up, et cetera, as far as answering questions goes. That's how they...
Pause. Like I was telling you back in the day, you know how one person will give you one narrative, another person will give you another narrative, but when you bring them together, their narratives start to change. Then they're like, well,
wait, but that's not what you said when you were telling me.
Exactly.
But that's not what you said when you were telling me. Why is it all changing?
And that's why when people come to me and say he said, she said, I always bring both of them together.
Right, because it's a story in their head.
Exactly. I'm the right person.
Right.
I'm the one that is doing the right.
Right.
They're doing the wrong. But then you bring both of them together, and their narratives completely change. That's why I don't go one version. Okay, I listen to both.
That's why I wish I was fourth dimensional. I could see everyone's Mobius strip, and then I would just zoom in on the times your strips intersect, and then I could then investigate every interaction between those intersections.
Then you could never lie. Yep.
That is the truth.
Would you like to read some of the comments at the end, or
yeah? Let's look at some comments.
But I think that was a good interpretation of both. Omizi did a very good job.
Shout out Omizi. Thank you, brother.
Thank you again, brother.
He's doing work.
Yep.
The unemployed's work, bro. I love it. When someone says my truth, 9 times out of 10, they're straight up bullshitting. The only non-consensual thing that happened was me learning about the situation against my will. Apologizing and putting SA allegations on him. I'm sorry to my ex and the pain I caused him. I want to take accountability now. So here goes. He raped me. Sorry for hurting your feelings, ex. I'm owning up to it. That's crazy. What a year, bro. We're only halfway, bro.
Yeah, halfway.
The big 2-6, baby. The big 2-6.
But yeah. Any final thoughts, sir?
Any final thoughts? Like I said, words have power. Words mean shit. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want, but reality is going to charge you.
Bite you in the ass.
It's going to charge you. You got to pay up. So if everything you're saying is true, I hope you come out of this unscathed, bro. I hope you do, because the universe, it's not my job. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the observer.
I'm the observer. I observe. You know what I'm saying? I observe, and then I just give you my experiences and, you know, why I move the way I move. But I'm not going to say this is true, this is not, this is true, this is not.
Yeah.
Because even on Kenneth's end, he doesn't realize he has free will.
Yep. But he's trying to use her as a scapegoat to why he did what he did. It's like, no. Nah.
That's
not how that works.
The fire on both of y'all.
Yep. That's not how that works.
The fire is on both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I honestly do hope, based off of the allegations, I hope this does go to trial.
Yeah.
I hope this does take a legal turn. You know what I'm saying? That way everything can be aired out, and it's not just, you know, he's good, she's bad, she's good, he's bad.
Yeah.
It's, nope, these are two humans who don't realize or understand logic, truth, know themselves.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These are two potentially very terrible human beings who are essentially using each other for who knows.
Whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We're not taking Kenneth's side, and we're not taking, what's her name, Kate?
Right. K-Vert or
K-Vert,
Kathleen or some shit.
We're not taking either of their sides. We're just listening to what is presented to us and then kind of giving you guys our own opinions on it. For me, my final thoughts, I would say accusations are serious. I think we need to start.
And so is self-deletion.
Yeah.
You threw 3 serious things.
Yeah.
Self-deletion, SA, and then, of course, you never addressed the
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You just skipped it and jumped.
You just skipped that. But those are 3 serious things.
You basically say, I'm sorry for what I did, even though you didn't address it, and then say, this is what he did to me. I would say, yeah, accusations are serious, and it's nothing to mess around with.
I think it legal
repercussions should be taken.
Yeah, there should be legal representation or legal intervention in this. This needs to go to court.
I got you.
Because I don't think the internet's going to let this die down.
I got you.
Because of the allegations that were made. It now essentially escalated.
Yeah. It's
it has now escalated.
It's serious. Because if somebody catches wind, they're going to...
But you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
If this is a lie, your lie charged the universe.
Yep.
So now it must escalate.
Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So now that you use the word, the energy behind it is, now we got to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to spend money. Now we got to build a case.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to get lawyers. Now we need witnesses. Now we need a judge. Now we need evidence. Now we need an investigation. Now we need a jury. Now we need... You understand?
Yep.
That is the energy.
Because then they're going to have to look through their
That
phones.
is the energy behind the word grape. Do you understand?
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's what comes with that word.
And that's why and that's why I always encourage men and women to not take it lightly.
Don't take words lightly.
Only
stop playing with words.
Because it does a disservice to the people that
stop playing with words.
Actually went through
right.
it.
Stop playing with words, bro.
It's serious.
Stop playing with words. You're wasting energy and you're cursing yourself and other people.
Mm-hmm.
Stop wasting words unless you understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
It's like, i.e., you can't call it a nuclear bomb if it doesn't equate a certain amount of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the word exists, but I can't call a firecracker a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Because we know, we've seen, we understand
what it is.
There's evidence. Words take energy. So to launch an accusation like that, ooh.
Just be prepared.
I hope.
If it's true.
I hope.
If it's true, be prepared.
I'm praying for everybody in this. I hope, dog. Mr. Sir.
Guys, thank you for joining us for another Triple T's Reacts. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Wait. You guys need to click on the links. Like, subscribe.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep, we'll do all that.
The
Bells and whistles.
Woo, willy, 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 woo. And see ya.